Hi, Rick here from Marinville Models, GW dealer from the UK. In this video I'm going to be covering the latest release from Games Workshop, which is Shadow War Armageddon. This has been an astoundingly hot release, so hot that Games Workshop sold out on their website within 9 minutes. That's how much demand there was for, and no clear indications whether they're going to do another run. So I'm going to have a quick look and see what's inside the box. So, first thing you are greeted with is the usual fantastic Games Workshop artwork on the front of the box. The other first thing that does strike me when I first got this box is the pure weight of it. This thing weighs a ton. It's a big box. This size is your normal sort of Games Workshop box size, but if you look at the end of the box, this is much deeper. Much deeper, and when I show you inside the box you're going to see exactly why. So if I flip it round, we've got some fantastic artwork on the back giving you a spread of what you're going to be getting in the box, which is you're going to get all the scenery, you're going to get 2 squads, you're going to get an Orc squad, and you're going to get a Space Marine squad. You get 10 of each, but I'll go into a bit more detail in a minute, and of course you're getting all the rules, etc. But the main thing about this box is going to be about the scenery. However, the rules that are in this box, which is obviously the Shadow War rules, we're going to see a lot of, I think, what's to come in 8th edition. So if this is an older video and you've been watching it on catch up, then, you know, I was either right or I was wrong. So if you're into 40k, forget about that. This is like 40k 2nd edition, or if you've played Necromunda, or if you've played Gorka Morka, that is the kind of rules in it. So if you're playing 40k, you've got to kind of sort of throw that out the window and kind of start again. But I think if you are going to learn a standalone game, and you are playing 40k, this is probably the one to learn, because I think if we do see, I think we'll see a lot of elements of this in the 8th edition rules. Okay, so lifting the lid on this bad boy, we are, as I said, we are, bam, crammed, packed, full of plastic. This is one serious, I mean, this is just like solid plastic here. That is why the box weighs so much. I reckon this box probably weighs about 3.5–4 kilos of weight, and it is just, and it's not like they've just rammed in a big massive rule book to take up the weight. This is just all pure plastic, especially on the scenery side. So first things we kind of notice inside, of course, you've got a couple of squads on top. You've got your Orc squad, and there is nothing new about this. These are standard Orcs. So, but this game is not about the about, when I say the models, I mean it's not going to be about the minis themselves. This is going to be about the scenery. So you obviously get your standard Orcs in there. You've got Orc boys, and if I dig down a little bit more, you're going down to, we have Space Marine squads in here as well. We've got our scouts, and then once you get these sprues off, then we're obviously getting into the scenery, which is really something that I think we all want to see. So first sprues out is the main tower, which I think is probably one of the more defining features of this. One thing you'll notice as well is the sprues, to obviously get them inside the box, is you'll notice the sprues don't go all the way around. They're really just down the centre to maximise the space that's going to be fitting in their standard size box. But the detail on this stuff, hopefully this is in focus, but the detail on this is just incredible. I mean, you see all the different cog wheels, gears, etc. I mean, if you're going to do a pro paint on this, it's going to take absolutely ages. And you see, got all your doors there and stuff, all detailed inside and out, hatches, valve wheels, etc. Looks like it's 4 pieces to make a complete cylinder there. And then again onto these pieces, again you can see amazing detail. I mean, just things like the details like the skulls, etc. Hopefully this all stays still in focus. It's just absolutely amazing. And obviously we're getting on to some of the pipe work as well, which is very much the same as the pipe work that they sell already. So I imagine it'll be all fully compatible. Now the whole design of this is to be modular, so you'll be able to actually change the type of terrain that you have. Just flipping it over, because you've obviously got a lot of details inside and out, things like that. Cooling fan there, as you can see, you've got the impeller blades inside. Nice detail there. And again onto a really nice another piece there. Just detail absolutely everywhere. I mean, this is what this set is all about. It is all about this terrain. Flipping it over, see the back side of it. So that's the main tower. Now moving on to the platforms that will go around the towers and it will actually connect up the hive. You have, again, of course, if you did play Necromunda, I'll be honest, it was a bit before my time, but if you did play Necromunda, it was all about ladders, etc. So we're now starting to see the first of the ladder sections. But again, coming back to the detail, I mean, check out that winch set there with the skull on it. That's just truly amazing. I mean, these are the sort of details, it's not so much that you get on scenery, but this would be on the models themselves. You see amazing detail, again, all into that hatchwork. So if you're into like painting, dry brushing, that sort of thing, all this detail is just going to pop right out at you. I mean, there's so much of this stuff in there, you're just not going to know what to paint first. Again, as you can see there, detailed on both sides. Again, this will be the connecting platforms, etc. So again, I'm just trying to get it so I don't catch the light on it, but you can still see, and it's all in focus. Again, lovely turbine details, etc. Again, hatch plates with the skull, a little bit of Gears of War type style in there. There's a couple of common platforms. This is one of the sprues that is actually duplicated, because a lot of the sprues are not duplicated. This is the ones that they are. So this is just the same as the other one I just showed you. Now, again, it's mentioned earlier about the weight of the box and the plastic. There are sprues like this that just weigh so much. I mean, that is seriously thick plastic. It's all double-sided as well, so amazing detail. But when this is all built up, this scenery is going to weigh a bit. It's not going to be like normal plastic scenery, which is just featherweight. Again, lovely details with pulleys, etc. I mean, they've just gone crazy with this thing. Again, of course, ladders. It's all about the ladders and the stairs, etc. Lots and lots of those. And this sprue I really do like as well. Again, you've got the platform pieces for like giving 90-degree bends in the platforms, etc. But check out, put my hand there so it'll focus, check out that skull. That is just incredible. That just reminds me of so many different things. Nothing to do with Games Workshop. That's the front of it, and that's the back of the skull there. And again, just loads and loads of detail. And once again, nice turbine. Okay, so now that we've got all the plastic out of the way, we're getting into the sort of core of the game. So a lot of you are maybe not going to be obviously interested in the models. You might not be even interested in the scenery, because let's face it, this game can be played on any sort of hive multi-level scenery. You don't have to use the Games Workshop scenery. So it might be all about the rules. But before we get to that, just some of the other accessories, because remember, this is a standalone game and is going to appeal as a like a gateway game, getting people into the hobby, which is good. So you're obviously going to get dice. One thing you will notice, as well as standard dice, that you're going to get one of these unusual guys. So if you've been playing Games Workshop for a while, you will realise you've got things like the misfire dice you used to get on the older early sets. So that all comes in that set, and of course you get your bases for your models, tiny 25mm bases. You get a standard, well, when I say it's a standard template, I'm sorry, unfortunately mine's had taken a bit of a whack and some of the pieces are already broken out. But it's a standard template, but not. It's done in a lovely clear translucent red, but you've got things like the flames on the edges, etc. So you get a new template section, so they're kind of cool, bit of a break from the green. Here you'll get your tokens. What these are for is in the rules, when you do things like moves, runs, etc., and taking break tests, etc., or bottle tests, you get counters. So you get a whole pile of counters. These are obviously all poppable. They're double-sided, as you can see. You get 4 different types. You'll get one for Overwatch, one for run, one for your if you're break test or hiding, etc. So they all come in there, and they obviously all pop out, and they are kind of required for this game. Maybe we'll see more of this in 8th edition, of course. So going in a bit deeper, we've now got obviously the instruction manual. This is the instruction manual for putting the terrain together. So as you can see, all lovely laid out. It's all the new sort of CAD stuff, so lovely and clear. Parts are numbered, yahoo! Although to be honest with you, you'd probably figure it out anyway. And as I say, all modular, so this is all going to fit together. Again, some nice graphics. In here, you've got your getting started. So as it's a gateway game, and you could be playing this for the first time, you can follow these very, very simple rules to get going. Get the ball rolling, and then as you get a bit more confident, a bit more experienced, then you can start rolling it out with the big book. So you've got the basic rules here, injury table, etc. As I say, this is not 40k, well, it's not 7th edition 40k, it's different, like that. And then of course, what a lot of you will want is the main rules. Now, you know, normally if you buy like the 7th edition starter kit for 40k, the Dark Vengeance, they do tend to give you like a tiny rule book, which, to be honest, is fine for like taking to events and stuff, but the text is really small, and if you're like me and your eyes are a bit older, you can't see it well. But the good thing about this one is you can see this is a good sized manual. So again, this will warrant obviously a video in itself, but it's like your normal sort of like your codec type thing. So you start off, bit of fluff at the beginning. It's obviously going to tell you basically what the battle's all about, so you've got a bit of fluff. It's not too heavy on fluff, but it'll give you the basics. If you know, if you're like me, if you're a bit of a fluff player, it'll give you the basics to that as well. And again, of course, we get into heavy metal artwork. Lots of lovely artwork as you go through this. And then, of course, you're going into what is essentially the core rules. So it's going to be so you can get it out, and even if you have played 40k and you're converting over from 40k to Shadow War, it's going to give you the basics you can break, and you can start playing really quickly. It's got all the basics. Remember, this is basically back to starting again. So I'm just going to flick through, because this is, to be honest, something that probably needs a video all of itself. But to be honest, the way is you're going to have to just get the book. So plans are, again, if this is a new video, plans are Games Workshop is they will release the rule book on its own, because essentially nothing is different other than that. It is just going to be a case of you'll have your models, because the way that it's supplied, it will come with the rules for a selection of factions, about 6 Space Marine factions in there as well. They're going to be adding more factions all the time. So even if they maybe currently don't support the race that you're already collecting, don't worry about it. They will be adding them in as they go. But just before I wrap up on the video, this is, well, to be honest with you, it's really just like a poster. I just put that into shot. But the interesting thing about this, because this is just the box artwork, but if we go onto the back, it's going to give you a breakdown of the scenery. So although the this Armageddon box set is, well, it's meant to be a one-off wrap. I spoke to Games Workshop this morning, and because the word was that they were going to be doing a second run. However, when I spoke to them this morning, that it was one of these cases, yeah, they might do another run, but it could be years in the future. However, it's really just a bundle is what this is, because the rulebook's soon going to be available on its own. As you can see, the scenery will also be available on its own. As you can see, you've got some release dates. So if this video has been watched quite new, these are all the things. So you've got April, May. So these are what's already in the box, but also additionals as well. So you'll be able to just build this modular terrain. And remember, this is not exclusive to Shadow War Armageddon. This could just be used in normal 40k play, like if you're still on 7th edition or whatever 8th edition brings as well. This is just simply fantastic terrain. Just the good thing about the Shadow War, for the cost of it, which if you're in the UK was £80, it was just phenomenal value, and it would have been great to pick one up. But if you haven't picked one up, don't panic, because all this terrain will be available separately. They may even do more bundles on the terrain, but as the Shadow War box set, I'm not convinced we're actually going to see it again, because I noticed it had been removed from the Games Workshop website, and usually when they do that, it's usually because they've not got any intentions of doing. But you know what, it could just be completely wrong. So there you have it, Shadow War Armageddon from Games Workshop, their new game, and possibly a taster for 8th edition rules for when they come out. I hope you enjoyed my little video. I'll try and do some more in detail ones into the rulebook itself, as I've maybe once played the game myself. I have a little bit more knowledge on that, and I'll be able to do a better job of it. I hope you found the video good, and it'd be appreciated if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll bring out some more videos on new products and other things that I can come up with. My name is Rick from Marionville Models. You can check out my web store at marionvillemodels.com, and I bid you good evening. Thank you very much.